No maps, no guides, just instinct, and one decision: leave or die. Beneath the cracked earth lie the tracks of over 1 million creatures, each one stepping into the harshest journey on Earth. Every footstep is a choice to survive. Every second is a ruthless filter. And no one waits for the fallen. Lions don't need to chase. Crocodiles don't need to search. Hyenas don't need to threaten. They don't even need to attack. They just wait for the right moment. This is a place where movement is instinct and survival is just luck. Wild savannah. The planet's most brutal migration begins now. Winds rise from the north. They carry no thunder, only promise. A hint of moisture, a faint scent of fresh grass. Enough to awaken instincts silenced through the dry season. On the cracked plains, each footstep kicks up dust. No more water, no more grass. Only one option remains: move or die where you stand. From the edge of the thickets, the herds emerge. Wildebeests, zebras, Thompson's gazelles, Grant's gazelles, buffalo, each with its own formation. Its own rhythm, but all heading toward one thing: the rain. And even in these first steps, behind them lies a dead land, and any pause is a chance. For something watching. Overhead, vultures begin to circle. They don't hunt, but they sense disruption from afar. A limp, a stagger, a break in the rhythm. They descend, not to attack, but to wait for the end. Below, African wild dogs don't rush. They trail the flanks of the migration, watching. All they need is a gap, a loose line. Then they strike. When the herd tightens, especially around the young, all seems fine, but a few seconds of panic, and a calf can be pushed to the edge. One bite to a hind leg, and the fall begins. The prey is separated, and the herd keeps moving. No cries, no screams, only the thunder of hooves swallowing dust, drowning every sign of loss. The terrain shifts. Shallow gullies and hidden dips begin to appear. The herd must tighten, move in a narrower line, and this is where lions wait. They don't chase, they don't roar, they lie flat, hidden in low grass. A short sprint from the edge, just enough to catch a calf, lost in the gully. And the herd, it simply shifts to the side and keeps going. No one looks back. No one knows a life just vanished in the grass. Behind them, a group of zebras veers off course, not because they saw anything, but because of a strange scent still hanging in the air. Meanwhile, a cluster of wildebeests sticks to the path. And from the edge, a pack of wild dogs is already waiting. After several losses, the herd begins to adapt. They tighten ranks, speed up near dips in the ground. Travel earlier when the earth is still cool, not because it's easier up ahead, but because there's nothing left behind. The predators are still there, just harder to see. Some only watch, some wait, because they know someone will fall eventually. In the sky, vultures keep circling. On the ground, the dust begins to settle. The first tracks have already vanished. The sun rises slowly. Heat from the previous day still lingers in every crack of the earth. Fine dust coats the burnt grass. Swirling with every step. No clouds, no breeze, no shade. No place to stop. This is the stretch between Serengeti and Grumeti, a barren plain that runs for miles. No stable water source, no tree cover, no terrain to hide in. The herds have no choice but to keep moving all day. non-stop, to escape this dead zone before their bodies give out. By mid-morning, the ground burns. The air is bone dry. Every step leaves a deep print in the hardened dirt. The herd stays in rhythm. No one waits for those who fall behind. By midday, the sun hits hardest. Herds begin to show signs of disarray. Sudden stops, unclear turns, small groups overlapping. A string of Thompson's gazelles snakes through rocky ground. A hyena steps forward. No charge. Mid-struggle. Daylight attacks like this are scattered. Not chaotic, but constant. All it takes is one stray step, one moment of disconnection, and the predator moves in. Grant's gazelles tend to travel solo or in small groups. They avoid crowded paths so they face less confusion. But if a predator finds them, there's almost no protection. In the open plains, these strikes are quick and precise. No loud cries, no mass panic, just quiet fractures in the formation, impossible to undo. Another group of wildebeest veers off, avoiding dusty winds from the west. But their new path cuts into a zebra herd. As the groups cross, some individuals get lost. One young zebra separated from its mother in the crowd freezes. A hyena approaches from the opposite side. No running needed. It walks up and bites down on the throat. The calf collapses in silence. By midday, more vultures begin to gather. They don't need to see blood, just disturb dust. A sudden stop, or a lone body still on the ground. They circle low, waiting for the right moment to drop. A group of zebras enters a field of sharp stones. The air is too dry, no shade, no rest. Each herd reacts differently. Zebras usually keep their young close, but if a calf can't stand, the mother may leave it behind. Wildebeests move in tight clusters, which can cause chaos if something goes wrong. Grant's gazelles keep distance, so they rarely clash. After 3 days of non-stop travel, the herds begin to change tactics. Some start moving slower in early morning before the ground gets too hot. Others dash across open zones. Then, rest briefly, where tall grass offers cover. But whatever the strategy, none stop for long. Because if they don't leave this dry land soon, death from exhaustion will come before the predators ever do. After crossing the sun-scorched plains, the migrating herds enter a new terrain. Ahead lies a band of open woodland, narrow but long. The trees grow close together, forming a tight corridor. This stretch connects Serengeti to the Grumeti River, and it's one of the most dangerous zones on the route. The ground turns damp, uneven, scattered with rocks. Visibility drops. Thick shrubs, dim light, sharp turns. The herd can no longer stay in wide formation. They compress into a single line. calves are moved to the center, flanked by adults on both sides, trying to maintain a tight group. The pace slows, breaths grow heavier, every step requires more effort. The soil is soft and the terrain uneven. Here, the primary predator isn't on the ground, it's in the trees. Leopards. They don't ambush from behind bushes. They wait above, perched in low branches. They blend into the canopy. From above, they scan the passing herds. They only strike when a straggler falls behind, or a calf wanders off course. No dramatic chases, no roaring. Their moves are swift, precise, and silent. A male leopard drops down, lands hard on the calf's side. The impact alone knocks it down. No warning, no herd reaction. The leopard drags the kill into the underbrush. It doesn't feed immediately. Instead, it looks to haul the body up a tree, away from scavengers. On the ground, all that remains, a few tufts of fur, a smear of blood, and drag marks. When another group passes through, no one stops. No one notices anything missing. The herd keeps moving. No pause, no count. Deeper into the brush, the trail winds more sharply. Some groups must change direction often to avoid fallen logs or blocked paths. These shifts break formation. One zebra herd veers left to avoid slippery soil. A young one in the middle doesn't turn fast enough, loses track of its mother. From behind the bushes, a female leopard steps forward. She circles from the side and locks her jaws onto the calf's neck. Within seconds, it's over. Leopards don't growl, don't make noise. They vanish with the kill. Not every attack is successful. Sometimes the herd reacts in time, tightens formation, or pauses to let stragglers catch up. But in low visibility terrain, every reaction is slower. Vultures begin circling above. They don't need to see a carcass, they smell blood, or recognize odd movements below. If the leopard can't hoist the kill into a tree, the vultures are next to arrive. Still, most kills are hidden well, out of sight. The herds begin adjusting, some close ranks, avoiding fragmentation. Others choose side trails with fewer animals, but those paths carry greater leopard risk. Researchers have recorded over 30 ambushes within just a few miles of this forest, all during the day, none with chaos. Just silent disappearances, then light returns. Out of the woods, visibility improves. The pace picks up again, but not all herds still have their original numbers. No one counts. No one calls names. They just keep marching forward. Beyond the brushland, the herds keep moving north. No more thick dust, no more cracked earth. The air changes, heavier. Wetter, flies gather, the ground softens, dotted with fresh, wet tracks, a clear sign, the Mara River is near. This is the greatest obstacle of the entire migration. The river isn't long, but there are no bridges, no safe fords, just steep banks and a rushing current, a wide stretch of murky brown water, deep, fast, and unpredictable. The herds know the danger. But they have no choice. There's no going back. Behind them is dust, no grass, no water. Only one way forward they must cross. The herds crowd at the edge. Some hesitate, but pressure builds from behind. There's no signal, no order. When one steps in, others follow. A reflex. The ones in the back slip, pushed into the river. The line breaks. Calves drift away from their mothers. Beneath the surface, predators are already waiting. Nile crocodiles don't chase. They lie still, half submerged. Eyes and nostrils just above the surface. As the herd churns the water, the crocodiles begin to move. They close in, targeting those that stray. A calf, off course, a weak swimmer. sudden twist from below, a bite, angled into the ribs. No sound, just a burst of foam, then silence. The body doesn't resurface. The crocodile holds it under, waiting for it to drown. If there's resistance, it spins, ripping flesh. Snapping bone. One zebra slips near the bank, crushed under the weight of its own herd. Another calf crashes into a rock, spins off course. It all happens in seconds. No one stops. No one turns back. The far bank is no easier. It's slick, steep. The first animals claw their way up, dragging themselves forward, one hoof at a time. Many slip, trampled before they can rise. No one waits, no one checks. If you make it up, you move on. If you don't, you're left behind. Every bite is a life lost. Every crossing is a test of survival. And when the last of the herd climbs the far bank, the river goes silent again. No more hooves, no more splashes. But below, the bodies haven't surfaced. The crocodiles are still feeding. The survivors crawl out, bruised and battered, coats caked in mud, shoulders scraped by rock, some still bleeding from fresh wounds. But if they can stand, they keep going. The herd doesn't pause. There's no time to rest. Ahead lies more dry land and new trials waiting. North of the Mara River lies a vast, dry, and exposed land. No more rivers to block the way. No more forests to offer cover. But this isn't a safe zone. There's little water, even less grass, and nowhere to stop. The earth is cracked from months without rain. Grass is burnt down to the roots, patches of brittle yellow scattered across the plains. A few shallow pools remain, but they evaporate fast under the brutal sun. The herds move on, but the pace has slowed. Many are exhausted from the river crossing. Some are injured. Some calves have been separated from their mothers. The formation begins to stretch, breaking into scattered clusters. Hot air, no breeze, no trees tall enough to cast real shade. Sweat evaporates instantly, leaving salt rings on fur. Hyenas return. They don't stalk. They don't ambush. They simply trail the weakest groups, watching from a distance. When an animal can no longer stand, they move in. A full-grown antelope with a limp. One bite to the flank. The animal collapses. The rest follows quickly. Far above, vultures have already begun circling. When they see hyenas feeding, they descend. They keep their distance. They don't rush, they wait, following the same silent routine. Here, there's no need for chases, just patience, waiting for the next one to fall. Hyenas don't need to launch violent attacks. They just wait for the moment strength runs out. No screams, no resistance, only shallow breathing, then silence. Scenes like this unfold quietly, all day long, no chaos, no roar. Just death slow, steady, unannounced. Anyone who lingers too long is removed from the migration. The herd moves on. Empty spots are filled. No one questions. No one checks. The only trace left a patch of disturbed dust where a body once lay. Different species respond in different ways. Zebras keep their calves close, but if one falls too many times, even the mother must move on. Thompson's gazelles travel in small groups, but when one fades, the whole cluster may collapse. Grant's gazelles hold rhythm longer, but without a clear path, they still fall behind. The grass is too short, not enough to feed all. The water too scarce, not enough to share. The hot ground drains energy with every step. In the afternoon, winds sweep in from the west, carrying dust across the plains. Above them, vultures still circle. They don't follow individuals. They follow thinning groups, where new carcasses are most likely to appear. Hyenas roam solo, or in pairs. Each follows its own trail. No coordination needed. When they spot an animal that's fallen behind, they move closer. No intimidation. No charge. Sometimes just appearing is enough to confirm the end. No other species intervenes. No individual returns. The herd simply continues. In the drylands, there's no clear destination, just the goal to keep moving, fast enough to escape this zone. If not, the body will shut down. Only those strong enough to endure heat, thirst, and their own wounds will reach the next chapter. The others. Even those who survived the Mara River will end their journey here. The sky changes color, the ground drinks deeply, cracks soften and close. From the earth, fresh green shoots begin to rise. The rains have returned to the Mara Plains. After thousands of miles, the herds finally arrive, and for the first time they can slow down. wildebeests, zebras, buffalo, Thompson's gazelles. They spread out into smaller groups. Some calves rest close to their mothers. Wounds begin to dry. Caked dust is washed away by wet grass. The brutal journey pauses here, for now. Local lions wait near watering holes, hidden in tall grass. They watch as the herd begins to relax. No signal, no warning. A calf strays just a few steps. One lunge, a bite to the neck. No panic, no alarm. Leopards are still hunting too, but not from the trees. They move low, between shrubs. Choosing loners, or the slow. They don't need a pack. They don't need strength, just timing. African wild dogs are here as well, no longer in big packs. They break into smaller groups. Tracking the scent of blood, the sound of heavy breathing. When a herd rests too long, they move in. No ambush needed. They only have to be faster than the ones too tired to run. A young zebra, separated from its mother, wanders away in search of grass. A male leopard was already there. No sound, a low leap, a locked jaw. No one returns. After a few days, as grass grows taller and thicker, the larger herds begin to break apart, spreading out to find fresh patches. but every split leaves someone behind, not because the journey is too long, but because their bodies can no longer recover. Even in green pastures, nature still selects. As the grass rises, light breaks into shards, old trails vanish, the ground turns soft. Slick, and the line between safety and danger becomes blurred once again. And then the signal comes from the south. In Serengeti, the rains begin to fall again. The winds shift, carrying moisture, carrying the scent of new grass. No map, no call, just instinct. Some herds begin to turn back. Not all at once, not the same path, but all moving south back to where it began. Grass will thin, water will fade, and the journey will repeat. Almost exactly the same, except for one thing: who's still alive and who's not. Some won't return, some will give birth along the way. Calves born in Mara will begin their first migration. Following their mothers, following the herd, following the rain, the grass, the instinct that cannot be broken. On the reborn plains, new footprints begin to appear, long, steady, silent, each track a life in motion. Thank you for joining Wild Expeditions. We've followed one of the greatest journeys on Earth, where every step is a test of survival. There's no place truly safe, only the resilient move forward, and the cycle of life will begin again, from the first crack in a dry plain. If you believe these wild stories deserve to be told, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey, where nature continues to speak, one heartbeat at a time.